Hey everyone! So today I'm coming at you with another storytime video, and this one I find is pretty funny. We kind of tell it a lot at work, I guess. Well, not a lot, but you get my point. Point is, this is a juicy gooder, so yeah, I think you should keep watching if you want to hear what happened when we got robbed. So yeah. So, like I said, this one's a gooder, and I was not kidding you. So, let's set the story. First off, I work in an adult store, so like we sell sex toys and lingerie, and you know, and we also do tanning. So, but yeah, we sell dildos and stuff. You know what I mean? Point being, that's the kind of place I work in. So this one day, me and my friend Maureen were working, and this guy comes in and he's super like chipper. He's like, "Hey, how's your night going?" It's like 12 o'clock. You know, it's like this afternoon, like it's not even night. So first things off with that. And he's just like all like super like up and talkative and like, yeah, it was off. And I'm like, this dude's on something. Like that's what's going through my head. I'm like, dude's on drugs. And that's honestly normal. You know how many times people come in drunk or high on some drugs that I have no idea. I'm like, I don't know what they're on, but I know they're on something, you know what I mean? That happens often, so, you know, shouldn't be too big of a deal. Well, it is. So, he's walking around, and I just kind of get this bad vibe from him. I'm like, I don't trust him. And he's like, looking around, you know, doing his thing. And I'm like watching on the cameras, and like Maureen's like watching him, like, and I'm kind of like watching both. And he's over by the cock rings, and I'm like watching, and he bends down, and I see in the camera him put one in his pocket. So I mouth to Maureen, and I'm like, he's got one in his pocket, like, you know, right? So he's like over by the wall of pocket pussies, and he's like fumbling around with stuff, and Maureen's like, I'll take that, because he was like trying to put something on the shelf. And then she's like, and I'll take that one from your pocket, and took it from him, right? The reason I'm like laughing telling this is because later when we were watching the security footage of what had happened, it doesn't have any sound or anything, but you just see Maureen walk up to the guy, whoop, pull it out of his hoodie, and walk away. It was so funny. Seriously, so funny. Because all I heard was him be like, like I didn't see it, I just heard it. So like when it actually happened, it was so funny, like seeing it happen. But anyway, going on. So she takes it out of his pocket, and then she goes to put it back, and she's like still like on him. And yeah, I know we should have kicked him out, but we're dumb, we weren't thinking. Sorry. Anywho, so this is not all that happens. So he's kind of like over at that wall still, and Maureen's like watching him, and she's going over, and he puts his hood up, and she's like, don't you dare. And dude grabs a fleshlight. Like, if you don't know what a fleshlight is, it's like Canada's +1 selling sex toy for men. It's like a pocket pussy, but like high end, like it's really good. But they're like $150, you know what I mean? Like $100+, like they're not cheap. So he and they're big, like seriously, like Google it, Google the box. It was a big ass box, like, and they're heavy, they're not like light, they're heavy, like they're heavy duty, right? Anyway, so dude grabs it and runs, and he runs out the door, and all of a sudden these brochures, like these anal brochures, go flying across the floor. I thought they knocked it down when they ran, but after watching the film back, I realized Maureen was carrying it, because she's like, you know, like, oh, I'm just like looking at these, right? But yeah, she's like, as soon as he ran out the door, she like flings them and then chases after him. Yeah, you heard me. She chases after it. You're not supposed to do that. She chases after him. And I'm like, what the crap? Like, we also had another customer in the store at this time, right? And she's like overdoing her own little thing and just witnessed this thing go down. So there they go out the door, and then I'm like, this is my reaction of like watching myself. I'm like behind the till, and I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, ah, and like run outside and then chase. Like, I go and look to see where they are. I can't see them anywhere, and I'm like, okay, like, where'd they go? I have no idea. They're not behind the store, which I saw them run, and they're nowhere to be found. I'm like, did they go to the mall? Like, I have no idea. So I have no idea what to do. So I go back into the store and I get on my cell phone and I call the owner. I'm like, so like we just got robbed and he stole and Maureen went and chased after him. Like, do I call the cops? Like, what do I do? Yes, I am dumb. But it's less dumb and more like my anxiety. Like, I don't know what to do and I panic. And Maureen's gone. I'm like, what the frick? And this guy's on something, so I'm like, this guy can hurt her. Like, I know she can handle her own, but this guy, he's unpredictable. He's on drugs. Anyway, so she's like, yes, call the cops, I'm on my way in, blah, blah, blah. She's like, I can't believe she chased after him, blah, blah, blah. She's like, call me when she gets back if I'm not in. I'm like, okay, right? So I call the cops. There's little Stephanie on the phone, and I'm like, hey, I like call the RCMP, and I'm like, oh, we were just robbed, and my coworker chased after him. Like, I don't know, I'm like tripping over my words, right? Because I don't know what the hell. And she's like, okay, I'll transfer you to dispatch. I'm like, okay. So they transfer me to dispatch, and I go through the same. So I'm like, hey, I work at such and such, and we were just robbed, and my coworker chased after him, and I don't know where they went, and I don't, like, they're like, okay, like, can you give us a description of them? So I had to give a description of Maureen, plus I had to give a description of the guy, and trust me, my description, I was, like, really on it. Like, I'm like, he's got this, like, this is what he's wearing, this is what he's wearing, and I'm pretty sure he had an eyebrow piercing. Turns out he totally did, so, like, go me, right? But anyway, so I'm explaining him, and I had to explain Maureen, and then they're like, okay, and what did he steal? I'm like, a pocket pussy. And she's like, okay, and then she's like 2 seconds later, she's like, oh, what was that again? And I'm like, a sex toy. And she's like, oh, okay. And she's like, so we're sending someone, and they're gonna be looking for them, yada yada. And she's like, call us back if she comes back. I'm like, okay. So I end up having to ring through my customer, and she's like, that was crazy, hey? And I'm like, yeah, like, I don't know, like, crazy day. Maureen's still not back. I'm panicking. Like, I'm like, I think I called Rusty, and I'm like, I don't know where Maureen is. Like, I was panicking, and he's like, are you okay? And he's like, I'm coming down. Like, legit. Dude is such a good guy. He came right on down. He's like, Maureen is fine, we'll take care of herself, right? I knew she would, but hearing that reassurance made me feel good. But he also came down to the store right away and was like there and comforting. You know, it was nice to, you know, have your guy there if shit like this happens. But anyway, just before he shows up, Maureen walks through the door, and I'm like, I had just had a Tanner walk in the door too, and I like, seriously, I see her and I hug her and I like just burst out in tears because I was like, oh my god, you're not dead. Like, it was just such a relief. And I checked on my phone, she was gone between 20 minutes and half an hour. Like, she was gone. Like, it was like, yeah, it was crazy. And I was like, oh my god. And she's like, I wasn't gone that long. I'm like, yes you were, Maureen, you were gone 20 minutes. And like, when I like showed her like when I called and like when she came back or whatever, I was like, see, this time stamps. I'm like, you were gone like 27 minutes. I was like, you freaked me out. And she's like, oh my god. She's like, I'm so sorry, right? So the owner comes in, the cops come, and when she came in, she had a steak in her hands, because we'll get to that, but yeah, she had a steak in her hands. And then our customer was like, is everything okay? We're like, yeah, we're good. Like, and then eventually the cops come and we're giving statements, and anytime you say like pocket pussy, they get so, the one guy gets so embarrassed. And it turns out that cop got totally razzed at work after the case of the missing pocket pussy, right? Like, totally razzed him and stuff. And I remember like having to show him around the store. He's like, what did he steal? I'm like, oh, and like I go and show him, and I'm like showing him around the store, and he's like keeping his head down, like not wanting to see. And I'm totally oblivious to this stuff. Like, Maureen noticed it, but I didn't. Like, but yeah, if I said pocket pussy, he went like red in the face. And me, I don't even like saying that really. Like, I don't like saying the P word, but if I have to say it for work in like that pocket pussy term, then I'll say it. I know it's weird, but anyway, on with the story. So, the case of the missing pocket pussy. later on, yeah, we tell the cops that we have a stake, he gets our statements, leaves his cards, he gets video footage, which we give him the next morning, and when we give him the video footage the next morning, he's talking more, and he's like, so how much is tanning? He's like, I'm a little depressed. Like, Canada for ya. What's the price you're tanning? I'm a little depressed. Like, that's what a cop's gonna ask. But anyway, so, and that's when he told us he got razzed at work and everything, and that's super funny. And the steak is because he had apparently hit a couple stores along the way, and he had stole from No Frills, which is like a grocery store, and that's where the steak was from, and that is like a couple blocks away from where we were. But anyway, so that's my side of the story, and it's pretty funny. Well, not pretty funny, it's pretty scary. But now let's get into Maureen's side of the story. So this bitch chases him outside, and like they run behind like our little mall, and then across the street, almost getting hit by oncoming traffic, to Canadian Tire, around Canadian Tire, and then like over fences, and she like busted her toe climbing over fences chasing this guy. At one point he fell and dropped the steak, and he went back for it, and she went for it too, and she's like, you ain't getting it. Like, she was like, I gotta get something from him, right? She tried to get the pocket pussy, but no, she got the steak. So that's how she got the steak. But after like the second fence, she gave up, and then he ran by a Chinese restaurant and like kept going or whatever, and then she walked back like 2.5 blocks away from the store. Like, she chased him that far, you know, like, you're not supposed to chase him that far. I was like so mind blown. And anyway, so yeah, she chased the dude down for like 25 minutes all through the neighborhood, and it was just like, and she got a steak from him, and yeah, so that is her side of the story. And finishing out, the dude was well, like, we did catch him on camera, because we have cameras and everything, and we gave him the cops. The cops said he was a well-known person, and unaware, like, we were totally unaware, but 2 of our customers are actually, like, cops, and one's, like, a sergeant, and, they were giving us the details, and they totally caught the guy. They knew who he was, everything like that. So, and he's a known bad guy. I just call it bad guys. Well, I call people who do bad things bad guys still. I'm like still a child. Like, you're a murderer, you're a bad guy. You sell drugs, you're a bad guy. I don't know. You do bad things, I think you're a bad guy. Like, you're in jail, you're a bad guy. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not like, oh, you're a criminal. I'm like, you're a bad guy. But yeah, so that is the story of how we got robbed and became the case of the missing pocket pussy, embarrassed cops, broke toes, chased criminals, got steak. Like, it's just, it was such a crazy day. Like, it's just, oh my god. But yeah, so we just laugh about it now, but yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed that crazy story, and I will talk to you guys again soon.